Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently trading at 29,739, down 3.18%. Ethereum currently trading at 1757, down 3.07%. If you're new to the channel, I'd just like to let you know that everything I do for you is free. Twice a day, 7 days a week, I share my experience as a full-time crypto trader. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. I'd like to talk to you about Rule 17, question certainty. Many times in life, we are certain that something is happening or not happening. It's really important when you're a trader or investor to question the degree of certainty you hold. Every day, I look across the markets and I gather probabilities. I start with the assertion that everything I'm doing is incorrect. I start with the assumption that everything I have, all the data I have, is invalid. It's not applicable. And then I seek to gather probabilities step by step from every place that I can. I always start the day questioning certainty. It's very, very powerful. But it extends far further than just probabilities. I'll explain. Each day we go through psychological safety and liquidations, fear and greed. We're looking at this institutional price behavior that underpins bidding price up and then letting price fall. We can say that as price goes up, people FOMO into the market through a fear of missing out. There are Lamborghinis, houses, holidays, luxury cars, new partners, whatever it is on sale when this wealth comes in, that quickly disappears and turns into basically terror as the prices plummet. What basically happens, people with the money that underpin the market, they need a lot of people to take that money off their hands. They, for example, when you buy, who sells? Somebody is selling all this way up. And when they can't sell anymore, when they sense weakness, they exit those positions and start to think about going short. Maybe the best way to think about this, if you've ever been in a situation where you buy at the top and you've sold at the bottom in any investment that you've been a part of, that's generally an organized campaign to use fear against you on the way up and use fear against you on the way down. Here, large interests are selling. Here, large interests are buying. When they sell, they've got to make sure that they don't push the price down too much. That's really important. When they're buying, they have to make sure that they don't push the price up too much as well, because you'll see a trend change. What happens here when the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, the FUD, comes into the market? People panic and they sell. What happens next is institutions, large holders, are buying. We can prove this with on-chain metrics. A lot of people think that the price is going to fall substantially. I do not subscribe to that. We've seen the trend. We analyze the trend all the time. Without an analysis of trend, you don't know what is happening in a market. In the last episode, episode 136, we talked about being forged by fire. Various community members reached out and shared how they felt they were forged by fire. It's very beautiful. Gore for Glory said a very, very insightful quote. The moment it feels real, the moment you are so sure about we are entering a bear market and everything and everyone is telling you to sell, is the time when we make a huge move to the upside. It's absolutely right. There's so much misdirection inside markets. Thanks, Gore for Glory. Absolutely excellent. Tamara said she remembered in her gut, because we had an issue of question your gut feelings. Go against them. Don't subscribe to them. Tamara said when she followed her gut instinct that when it was at 60,000, it could never go to 30,000. She realized she'd been sucked in. And that's exactly what the large interests do. Everything about this channel is to equip you with skills that make you think independently of the market. Thanks to Mara for sharing that. Buildy had an incredible share here. Buildy said that his mindset has flipped completely during this drop, under 30,000. He was excited to transfer funds, to get his buy limits actually wicked down, to get them filled. And he's looking at fantastic bargains. He doesn't care about his portfolio value. Looking at it serves no purpose. He had a lot of stress 8 weeks ago, but he's completely different in how he feels now. He's excited for bargains. He says very nicely, hopefully this helps others to be less worried. That's really beautiful. Thank you, Buildy. Thank you, ForShort24, for sharing your experience throughout the 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021 cycles. The comment, which is, I learned from experience. I was warned, but my state of mind wasn't what it should have been. I won't repeat the same mistakes, is incredibly valuable. On this channel, we talk all about mindset, and it takes time to be willing to understand that. If it takes time, just be kind to yourself. It can take a lot of time to unlearn what you have learned. It's not easy. Scientific best. I channeled my inner masochist, looked to the horizon and bought more. Well done. Exactly. That's the power of knowing the trend. And it's also the power of understanding when something goes from 10 to 5, it decreases 50%. But when it goes from 5 to 10, it increases 100%. Buying the falling knife is an incredibly powerful thing to do. But institutions don't want you to do that. They want you to not do that because that's what they're doing. I've seen throughout the communities, throughout Discord, throughout Facebook, and on Twitter, Rule 212, markets demand the tuition fee of losses. That's really good to understand. When you pay the tuition fee, either by paper, hopefully, or if you bank a loss, that's okay. These are fees for your tuition. The market always requires payment. And our goal here on this channel is to decrease that payment as much as possible. Conventional wisdom out there is that 90% lose money. So why do 10% make money? The 10% that make money know Rule 174. They don't need to know a number. They just need to know this, the Tcube method. We need to look at the trend, we need to look at the timing, and we need to look at the trigger. Many people have asked me to talk about the trigger. I'm just going to give you a little introduction. Not all steps are here, but I want to give you a kind of like a framework. You need to put the effort in. If you're not dedicated, it will never work. Focus on price. Do your own research. We always go through the news, and I'm trying to show you, don't trust the news. Trust your own analysis. You need a lot of rules. I share my rules because I've literally paid millions of dollars to acquire those rules. I don't want you paying exorbitant sums of money. You then focus on probabilities. You learn, continuously learn. You seek to create an edge, then create a system with very specific steps that allow you to disengage from your emotion. You need to be flexible because market conditions change. Accumulate the experience, understand what works and what doesn't. You pay the tuition costs. It's normal, we all do. You need to be forged again and again and again to create this beautiful, fearless outlook on life. Then you need to be consistent in what you do, and then you will be profitable. It takes a little bit of time. And as you know, for the people that watch this channel, I'm always covering different rules that apply to all of these boxes. I don't want to dump it on you all at once. I just take something that is applicable in the market at the moment and try and share that with you. If we just quickly return to psychological safety, we know this advertising, buy at the top, sell at the bottom kind of idea. But many people would say, Ken, you're dreaming, you're delirious, nobody is buying this, everybody is selling. Why? Why don't we check it out? If we go to the stablecoin supply ratio, SSR oscillator, we can see that the stablecoins have amassed and then they're now being applied into Bitcoin. This is for Bitcoin. When that happens, price goes up. It's essential to understand how some of these on-chain metrics work. This is very simple. It means money is flowing in. It's not flowing out. Looking at the latest data that we've got here, you can see that when there is a crash, when there is a peak, there's an incredible number of transfers to exchanges of Bitcoin across all exchanges. What you see here right now is that's not the case. This is the latest data that we have. We can't unfortunately get any further up than that, but it shows that we are very, very low. It's certainly not a spike like this. That gives us confidence. That gives us the probability. Let's get into rule 1122, the KS method for timing. The first thing that we do is just look through the Bitcoin news with a concept of not knowing anything more than what a headline says. Bitcoin code review, is it legit or a scam? That's pretty negative. Stocks rebound, really? Wow, interesting. If you've done the trend part, maybe that's not quite correct. But there's no saving crypto. Oh, that's fascinating. Okay, CEO says he will approve a Bitcoin ETF. That's not bad. Oh, global stocks are rebounding, but Bitcoin's trading below. Malaysian police, they love to destroy Bitcoin mining rigs. They love running them over. Crypto update, Bitcoin sinks below 30,000. Wow, that's really scary. That's not nice. 200, oh, price crash. Bitcoin suddenly crashes. Whoa, it's crashed. Yeah, we better fact check that. Bitcoin dropped below 30K. Oh, okay. Aussie Bitcoin miner to raise 200 million. Well done. Cryptocurrency prices. Yeah, that's pretty neutral. So let's have a look at this. Stocks rebound. I wonder what stocks have to do with Bitcoin. If you followed episode 136, you know they've got a lot to do with Bitcoin, as does inflation, gold, silver, yields, treasury notes, and of course the Bitcoin miners and Bitcoin ETFs and various associated technology plays. From that episode, we look through all of the major indices, we look through the major players, and then we get down to cryptos. And we put the price of Bitcoin in the background so we can understand what is going on. About 5 or so days ago, I said that this was due for a wave down. This is always part of our trend analysis. I drew a line here simply to represent that I was expecting a wave down. At that time, many people reached out to me through Twitter and said, Ken, you're dreaming. Estimated earnings are going to increase by about 66% quarter on quarter. There's no problem with these earnings. And I said, that's exactly what happens when earnings come in. And I mentioned to the community that there would be the end of the world playing out. Stocks are crashing and just beware. But I believe this will just be a normal rebound to support if it goes that far. There's no guarantee it will, but if it does, that's okay. Now notice this thing. When Bitcoin was going up, stocks came down, but Bitcoin kept going. There was a divergence here. When Bitcoin came down, look at this divergence here. It's almost like money is chasing a return. I believe what is happening, if you look at this price action, it's pretty kind of flat realistically. If we look at this, I believe money is transferring from stocks into crypto. We'll see how that plays out. But getting back to the article, did stocks rebound? No, they certainly didn't. Global stocks rebounded? No, they certainly didn't. If you go back and have a look at that episode, it's really eye-opening. It will give you a completely different perspective. Remember, the trend is incredibly important. It's part of the discipline to become profitable. Let's have a look at crypto total market cap. Total market cap for crypto is $1.184 trillion. We can see that we're roughly about 18-19% away from that structural resistance right now. We had a break, which happens all the time. These technical violations are very normal. They're really to flush out positions, trying to hit stops where they can, or alternately pull longs in. Sometimes, well, often longs can fuel rallies just as well as shorts can. Let's have a look how Bitcoin is going. Bitcoin is currently trading at 29,712. The low back here was 28,831. When we think about that, and that was a big spike down that was pretty much instantly repaired. This is really interesting. There are some particular things that could be causing this. Maybe it's Janet Yellen talking about central bank digital currency and people not understanding that that is a really good thing for crypto. We actually discussed that 4 days ago. This is how forward thinking we are on the market. I've seen some YouTube channels talking about it today. We discussed it 4 days ago. We seek to be way ahead of the market. Potentially, Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust unlock could be an issue. Inflation, the COVID Delta variant could be all issues. Due to the nature of the Delta variant, I've started tracking that data in the trend component of the videos. Okay, so how is Bitcoin faring up? We've seen there was a bit of a sell-off here, absolutely. It tried to go lower, but it's hovering around, finding support at that 29,751 mark. It has support below at 29,508 and 29,176. Resistance, the real first level of resistance is really 30,545, and the next one is 31,111. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin longs and the Bitcoin shorts. The longs continue their ramp up, and the shorts are pretty much decreasing in value. There's a bit of interesting price action occurring here. As more negative news circulates around the internet, we would expect these shorts to pick up dramatically. You can think about Bitcoin going to 10,000, 20,000, and just how many people should leverage in on that behavior. We know the trend is not going that way at all, but a lot of people don't follow this channel. And if you're going short, please be careful. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum and Bitcoin tend to trade very similarly because of Bitcoin's fingerprint. We can see the shorts have been decreasing relatively. The longs are starting to increase. People are feeling actually really positive about this. They're thinking it's pretty much a bargain hunt at the moment. If that wasn't the case, the longs would not be increasing. It's important to know too that the longs can lift the market up just by themselves. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's open interest and max pain price for the end of the month options expiration. We can see it's still at 35,000. Even with this sell-off, it's not changed anything. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Options expiring at the end of the month, which is the highest volume. Max pain is still 2,400. Again, it's not changed anything from yesterday. Let's look at the volume breakdown. We can see the calls have increased relative to yesterday. The calls here for Ethereum are 41.14%. The puts, which is going short, are 58.6%. Over on Bitcoin, the calls are 51.6% and the puts are 48.4%. Calls are longs, like call up is a kind of a nice thing. Let's check out total liquidations. We're always really interested to see the power of specific moves. Over the past 24 hours, 436.26 million of liquidations has occurred to 96,077 traders. When we get a really crazy sell-off, it's common to get up to the 250,000 mark. We haven't seen that. Over the past hour, 77% of liquidations were short. We can also see from this graph, we're not having any really significant shorting liquidations apart from this one in the past. Let's check it out over the last 15 minutes. We can see some longs got shorted here. They got liquidated. And we see prices basically bubbling along. As part of our disciplined process, we always want to see what's moving inside the market. The top 7 is particularly important. Top 7, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Binance Coin, Cardano, USD Coin, and XRP. Let's have a look at the top 24-hour percent gainers, Dash, Leo, and then the stable coins. So we can see that this is a corrective market action. Let's go back the other way. 24-hour percent losses largest, Rev, MDX, TEL, Decred, T-Fuel, NEM or XEM, and Zilliqa. Let's look at the greatest 7-day percent gainers, Leo, Raven Coin, and then stable coins. This is very typical for any kind of sell-off. Let's have a look at the other way. Largest percentage losses over the past 7 days, Rune, Telcoin, Synthetics, Harmony, Flow, Theta, and Stacks. As part of our discipline, we look through Binance derivatives. We're particularly interested in the change in price in the contract in the past 24 hours. That just gives us an insight into how price may change going forward. 24-hour trading volume was $48.87 billion. 24-hour open interest was $6.2 billion. Now let's check out this. So Bitcoin down around 4%, same as Ethereum. Going down further, we're just seeing if there's anything green. Dash is green, 6.9%. Sometimes if you want to dollar cost average in, you can look for double-digit negatives. For example, if you thought that CHR was good, it's 13.1%. It all depends on your particular preferences and what you're going for. IOST, 5%. Let's keep on going. We're just hunting for positive numbers at the moment. Not much there. As is the case, we know that when Bitcoin comes down, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. That's why we must understand its trend and what is happening to it from as many probabilistic stances as possible. Let's have a look at Ethereum's technicals. Ethereum currently trading at 1744, pretty much spot on support. Okay, we have support below it at 1718 and also 1683. There's resistance above at 1794 and 1832. Let's have a look at Binance Coin, BNB. BNB is pretty much at support at 262.58. It has a level of support below it at 250. You notice this structural support coming into play. That's very good for the technicals of BNB. We should expect a bounce around here. Resistance is $270.50 and $278.17. It's really important to think institutionally. Rule 56, don't seek tops or bottoms. Just simply dollar cost average in, buying at support, and always be conservative. You can put those support levels away from the current price. You can see just how negatively biased price is from today's price action. Let's have a look at ADA, Cardano, quite a community favorite. ADA is currently trading at 10327, just a little above support. The next level is a psychological level of $1. That's quite a good level. A lot of people will be considering buying there, and it also lines up with the previous sharp spike sell-off. That's quite a good level if you're seeking to dollar cost average in. And you always know the difference when price falls from $10 to $5, that's 50%. But when it goes back up to 10, it goes from 5 to 10, that's 100%. They are the kind of things that you want to be hunting for. Resistance above is 10530 and 10719. A lot of people in the community are taking Peter Lynch's quote very much to heart. It is really part of becoming fearless, and that's why I consistently bring it up for you. I want you to be fearless. You need to be, especially in crypto. It's crazy. Peter says, far more money has been lost by investors preparing for corrections or trying to anticipate corrections than has been lost in corrections themselves. Don't worry about anticipating things. We'll deal with it when we get there. The focus is on becoming fearless, not just in trading, but in your life as well. Markets can do incredible things for you personally as well as financially. Let's have a look at XRP's technicals. XRP is currently trading at 52.47, just above structural support of 51.66. A lower level of support at 50.87. There's another level of structural support at 49.44. When it comes to resistance, 53.46 and 5500. Let's have a look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin is currently trading at 16.273, just a little bit under resistance at 16.539, and above that at 17.066. Support is there at 15.569 and 14.987. Doge is currently coming up to structural support at 14.433 and 13.435. Rule 138 is really important. All investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. You never want to buy at the top and sell at the bottom, but that's exactly what can happen if you don't learn how to trade. Learning how to trade is not just placing orders and analyzing charts. It's a whole philosophy. It's personal change. It's personal growth. It's an incredible thing. Let's have a look at Polkadot. DOT is currently trading at 10.684. It's just a little below resistance at 10.835 and a higher level 11.400. It has support below at 10.387 and 10.144. Let's have a look at Chainlink. Link is currently trading at 13.533. It's just pretty much at support right now. There is structural support at 13.264 and 12.876. Always remember, sharp angles reflect like this, and price is always moving in a wave. It's always coming up and then going down, coming up, then going down, coming up, then going down, and coming up. It's always moving in a wave. Do you notice how these really great investors, for example Warren Buffett, worth over 100 billion right now at the age of 90, they say things like, be greedy when others are fearful. Why do you think that is? They know, they understand how markets work. When everybody is running from the market, the fearless individual, the Warren Buffett type person, is running into the market. It takes a lot to do that, a lot of emotional courage, but when you get seasoned, when you get forged, you do it. Because you've held to the end, you've shown your dedication and commitment, I'd like to offer you a secret bonus. If you look at this psychological safety, I said what was happening were that the large entities were offloading their Bitcoin. Now, can I prove that? This is a great article from CoinDesk. Supply held by entities, that's like large entities, with balance 1 to 10,000 Bitcoin. You notice this upward line of Bitcoin, the gold line. When it came up here near the peak, they were offloading. Remember how I said they don't try to time tops and bottoms. They don't care. Coming down. Now, what do we see? If we draw a line down there, there is a break in this trend. Accumulation is starting, and this is exactly what is happening. This is secret knowledge. This is stuff that people really don't understand. All the people calling for $10,000 Bitcoin head and shoulder patterns on normal arithmetic charts, who don't understand the trend, they don't understand the 4-year cycle, or they have vested interests. They're maybe gold bugs and want the markets to crash or something of that nature. They don't understand these probabilities. They're going to get wrecked. It's really, really interesting. I hope this helps. It's just a little bonus. I'm going to be doing more and more bonus runs for you. You've shown your dedication. I want to show my appreciation. I hope you found the content useful. Everything I do for you is free. Please be aware of scammers. I do these videos to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Please reach out and say hi. I'd love to hear from you. We have groups on Facebook, on Discord, and Twitter, and you can always reach me directly on Twitter. Just send me a private message. I'd love to hear from you. Let's have a look at the Ethereum tokens. If you found this helpful, you might like to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please be aware, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and the worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.